Vic, I got you. You know, make some shit, Jerry. All stuff in the back on the remote.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management. I'm here with Cam and Mr. Smackington himself, my guy Greg. We're here to break down the NBA playoffs for this weekend. We got 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow, and we have been absolutely crushing it so far in this round. I don't know if you know, but I can't stop telling people Cam hit a plus 1796 and a plus 496 parlay, and Greg and I both swept our plays the other day. So we've been on fire and yeah, just been crushing it. Already 4-2 on the day today for myself in soccer. So make sure you're tailing me on that across all of our socials. And if you haven't checked out the Pick Management Network Discord, make sure you do. You get picks and plays, and all of our posts all go automatically there. So check it out. And also, if you haven't checked out the Rhythm app, you need to. It's a free premium subscription trial. The link is below. It's going to teach you everything you need to know about building predictive sports models. If you want to use it, they have pre-made models powered by their AI system, which have absolutely smashed. And they have an AI caddy that predicts hole-by-hole outcomes for golf tournaments. No other app out there is doing it, and they are letting people make tons of money. So make sure you're following the Rhythm app. The link is below. You don't even need billing info, just your email. Go on and sign up. But Cam, Greg, are you guys ready to dig into this NBA slate?
Let's give him some pressure.
Let's get it. All right. So
Yes,
first game
sir.
up,
Let's get going. Let's get it going.
today, 3:30, OKC taking on the Mavs. Mavs minus 135 on the money line, 2.5 on the spread, over under at 217. Cam, what do you like?
So just kicking off with this game, I'm really excited. I think this game is going to kind of steal the show for the weekend. Similar to that Clippers Dallas game. Most games in Dallas are always competitive. But I think with these two explosive teams, I really think this game is going to be a very, very fun one. Both teams are kind of evenly matched when it comes to home and away record. Dallas is 27-17 at home. OKC is 26-17 on the road. I do know the over 217 feels good. I know we've spoken about some of these questionable over and unders, especially in the Eastern Conference. I think for OKC and Dallas, I think they kind of underestimated OKC's chances of, I guess you could call it their adaptability to be able to keep up with Dallas in scoring. If they say, hey, we'll just try to outscore them, they say we can do it too. But those are some of the early thoughts for me. I'll let Greg share a couple of his thoughts, and then we'll kind of get into this parlay we cooked up together for this game.
Yeah, Greg, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so like Kim was saying, man, today we did something real special for you guys. Seeing as how this is the only game that's by itself really today, we'll have a big gap in between. We felt it was advantageous to pounce on it and do some collective work for you guys to give you guys a solid SGP to start Saturday off right, rolling into that 8:30 Cavs game. So with me personally, with these two teams, like I said, I've been saying this whole time with Dallas and Mavs, I just love the energy that OKC brings to every game. Due to the fact that, we know Mavs is a two-headed monster with Luka and Kyrie. Kyrie finally being able to have a solid postseason healthy has been what everyone's been eyeing from that side. But for me, doing that, the fact that this is a 1-1 series, we've seen that Mavs can handle the road play against OKC. They did handle the road play against the Clippers, and we see that it just wasn't a fluke situation. So now, with all that being said, we know how this series may end up turning. It's going to be down to the last half of every game from here on out. All right. With this SGP, we did something that I feel was great. It's quite a few plays, but it's a collective tandem. Okay.
I'm going to put it all in the chat, so don't worry. Everyone's going to be able to see it, so you can go ahead and just read it off.
Let's just say I got us covered with the points. We got it covered with the half solo. For OKC, we got it covered with the full game over, and then we gave you guys about a good 6 props that we definitely feel is no-brainer cashers. Okay. like okay, it's up on the screen right now. So yeah, we got the OKC game over. We took it down to 210.5. It's at 218. We took it down 7 with the hook on there. We got OKC half over, just them over 51.5. Like my boy Cam's been saying, they've been averaging almost 60 at the half. So taking them down 8 points from around 60, we feel that's a easy no-brainer. Then we add that with the full game at 102.5. So basically you got 51.5 times 2. All right, that's what we did there. You got the OKC plus the 7. With his solid input on how these players is coming through, that's what we concocted. So Cam, I'll let you break down the player props aspect.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll just start with Josh Giddey. Today is a game. And it was similar. I had a friend last night. We were talking about we'll talk about white boy Dante later, but it's just one of those games where you know who the 2-headed monster is. Sometimes a 3-headed monster like they have down at OKC, but sometimes you just need those 8 points and 6 assists from that other guy. And I think today that other guy will be Josh Giddey. With him starting, he gets enough minutes. We're just asking for a 3-pointer and a layup, or 2 layups and a foul, you know what I'm saying, and 1 free throw. I think those 3 assists come pretty easy. An alley to Chet, 2 corner threes to, if not both of the Jalen's. I think he'll easily cash these 3 assists as well. The Jalen's have been playing great this series in general. So to keep it simplistic, we took both of them for a 3-pointer. You know, I always got to take my guy Isaiah Joe for a 3-pointer as well. Tim Hardaway finally woke up last game. Tim had been in a really nasty rut, even before the playoffs had started. So I think with him going back to the crib, I think he'll also play with a little bit more spark. But we just took him for 5 points, which means I know he'll be able to get us at least 2 layups and a 3-pointer. So we wanted to keep it simple and just took him for 5. And then we took him for also 1 3-pointer, with him hitting 3, I believe, last game, and the 3-pointer at the end to actually win the game. I think he comes out pretty early trying to put him up, as he's, kind of working with that second unit. And then we have PJ Washington, of course, a 1 3-pointer, because why wouldn't PJ get at least 1 in the corner? He's one of the most efficient 3-point corner shooters in the league. So so that was plus 2,000. So anybody, if you want to, I say if you want to, water it down, but I don't know how much watering down you can do on 1 3-pointers for everybody. You just got to hope that this happens. You know what I mean? For sure.
Sure. Hey, we lost Greg for a second. He's going to come right back in though. So yeah, he'll be right back. But until then, I will tell you guys, I love that same game parlay that you picked. I think it's going to smash. What was the total payout on that?
It's plus 2,000. So for $20,
plus 2,000. Okay.
Oh, I'm back. Okay, sorry guys.
Yeah, it's plus 2,000.
Apologize.
There we go. All right. Not a problem. Cam finished telling us about the plus 2,000 same game parlay.
Plus 2,000.
Yeah, I am not missing out on this one. I missed out on the last one because I am a bum and fell asleep. So not missing out on this one, but I will say I am also going to be on the over in this game. Listen, we just missed the last one by a couple of points. OKC, the last 8 out of 10 games between these two teams have hit the over. We've also seen OKC just been dominant. They're 10-1 their last 11 games. So I get that they are due. They don't really lose back-to-back games like that very often either. We've also seen 5 out of the last 5 between these two teams hit when OKC was playing on the road versus Dallas. So a lot of trends going in our direction, and really, 216 is not a lot. That's what my rhythm model says. I bought it down a couple of points. We did see, if it was at that number, we would have seen the over hit more. So I'm riding my model, and hopefully it's going to hit. I also took the Mavs team total over 110.5 and OKC team total over 108.5. I like it all. Honestly, if one of these doesn't hit, I think the other two will. So I think I have a good shot at both. My model has this as OKC at 108.3 and Dallas at 110.8. So it is like right there for my model. So I think we are pretty close to it. And hopefully this thing is spot on. It's been crushing for me lately. So
and just to mention too, before last game, OKC hasn't scored under 110 points in like 2 years against Dallas. So it's no way.
Yeah, crazy,
as
right?
I'm looking every game, even when they lost last time, they still scored 110, 117, 135, 126, 111 when they lost again, 126.
Yep.
Like they're gonna score. So it seems as if regardless of what they're doing, it seems like the scoring is evident.
And there's another aspect I want to point out. All right, this may not be something to some, but I believe it's something. My boy OKC Shy, he got snubbed, right? He's the only player since the 70s to average what he's averaged and get snubbed for the MVP. Expect OKC as a team because they really operate well as a team to help pick him up. And that's what I think is going to be the extra edge that they're going to give for the rest of this series to prove that he was worth being MVP
trophy.
100%. Yeah. I believe it. Yeah, and I thought he deserved it too. So I'm
right get it next year. That's how it's happened the last 3 years.
Yeah, if you didn't get it the year before, you'll get it the next year.
You'll get it.
Luka or Shea next year. It'll probably be Luka or Shea, and I think Wemby gets Defensive Player of the Year next year because they'll be tied to Rudy. It's just like you know this kind of stuff though. Like, but that's a future bet that we should probably just give out.
Yeah, we'll do. When the season's over, we'll do a futures episode for next year. But moving on though, next game up is the Celtics are at the Cavs. Celtics minus 300 on the money line, minus 7.5 on the spread. Over under 211. Greg, what do you like for this one?
Okay, so this game right here, as you guys see right now, how I'm stepping. You feel me? I'm coming with that throwback old school Cavs right now. Right now, I really feel that the Cavs really just showed exactly what the Heat showed in Game 2 against the Celtics, that the Celtics are being too relaxed with their competition, all right? Now, due to the fact that Porzingis has been missing and he probably still going to not be able to come back to probably like Game 5 or so, that's a big edge that the Cavs can sit there and particularly be well in maintaining because of the bigs that the Cavs have. Yes, Jared Allen missed last game, but we've seen that wasn't a factor. Okay, Evan Mobley has been standing up strong in the paint for the Cavaliers, and he is what's been giving them, I believe, the extra advantage edge of his defensive play that gives them a little bit more free space with how the Cavs offense is starting to click. Another thing I'd like to point out, the bench is what's going to be major for the Cavs. Sam Merrill, he's going to be great. Like I pointed out with him against Hauser, that was a thing. I hope y'all saw that. And LeVert, if he's doing his job, then the Cavs should definitely be able to hang in this game. I'm all over the over. Okay, I just think that the way that the Boston plays against the Cavaliers, that they're going to give them so many opportunities being relaxed. For some reason, they just want to play their competition like, oh, we're here, we're the Celtics, we're the shit, you know what I'm saying? And due to having that type of an ego, I feel they have. All right, it's going to give the Cavs that opportunity to come back to remind people, hey, we was second seed for most of this season until we got injured. So it's a lot of motivation on the Cavs side right now. I don't think it's as much motivation on the Celtics side. They're just being dogged so much in the media. I think this is starting to get to them.
Sure. Oh, hey, listen, before we move on, I want you to give your OKC parlay that you gave because you dropped out. So I didn't want you to miss out on that, and I really like it. So why don't you jump back and give us that OKC parlay real quick?
Okay, the OKC, my personal OKC parlay is a 3-pick. It was the OKC plus 7.5 full game. OKC team total over 1.5.2. 102.5, and the team total over 210.5 for plus 100, plus 105 value, depending on what you get right now. But I decided to do that because I didn't want to one pick nothing out that game. I felt it was just better just to write them all together.
Yeah, I honestly love that. Those are some really good alt lines that you can grab, and that's a great price at plus 100 for a 3-pick parlay. So I love that. Cam, what do you have though for this Cavs Celtics game?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really fun game too. I think the Cavs are going to play with another level of energy. Did you say Jared Allen is playing, Greg? Or
it's still undecided. He's questionable. I don't know. It's probably going to be a GTD for him today. If he doesn't play today, he'll play
next game. Yeah. For sure. So yeah, the few things that I do like in this game, I've been watching the rotation that the Celtics have been kind of playing with, which has been interesting. I love my boy Sam Hauser. But he played like 16 minutes in the game one blowout. Then the second game, he didn't really play well. He might have played 13 minutes. With them losing, I expect the head coach to kind of shake it up a little bit. So I like Sam Hauser over 4.5 points and assists. I don't really care how or which way he gets. Maybe he hits 2 threes and we cash. But I know he should be able to be impactful enough, because after you have 2 off games, oftentimes enough, you try to come out just to make sure you solidify where you are in the rotation. So when the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals comes, you're not down there at the bottom of the bench with the first year and second year guys. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
You're
such
still
a low number. How can you not get it? You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's such a low
You know what I'm
number.
saying? So it's like, if you're
Yeah.
on the court, unless you just want to get cardio today, how do you not get 4.5
Right.
points and assists?
Yeah,
So
you gotta take a shot.
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So love Sam. Love Peyton Pritchard over 10.5 points and assists, because why wouldn't Peyton be able to just do that with points alone? But 2, because Jaylen Brown doesn't pass. Two passes to Jaylen Brown are going to be 2 shots. So hopefully Jaylen makes both of them, because I think that's another thing that's going to be interesting tonight. Jaylen Brown has been playing like this is AAU basketball. In game 1, it worked because he had like 25 early. But it's like, and sometimes it's within the flow of the game where it's like, pass the ball. Like, it's like he'll literally try to dribble too much and lose the ball. I remember in the third quarter when it was like, I think Derek White may have been to the left. He had enough space to shoot a Derek White 3. And instead of shooting it, he looked at him and tried to dribble and lost the ball. Karis LeVert when he got a layup. So he's just ridiculous. But anyways, so yeah, that, and then I like Al Horford to go under 2.5 assists. The rhythm model had him at like 1.8. Al Horford is out there to set screens, shoot threes on the trail, and rebound. It's not often he usually gets a lot of opportunities to even having assists. It'll be interesting if they try to run Al Horford off the court again today, because that's what they kind of try to do. So they had to play their big man, the backup big man for a good amount of the game. And then I like the full game over 217.5. I took it up just for plus money, plus 150. I think they're going to shoot the ball today. I think they're going to go back and forth. I think Max Strus probably finally gets the 2 threes I've been asking him to get for 3 games. I think Sam Hauser probably gets 3 threes. I think this will be a very up and down game, and I think the bench will be the reason why this game goes over. I think it'll be a very competitive, but a lot of scoring.
Yeah, the back and forth between these two teams, I don't see them. We saw such disparity, like such massive swings between the 2 games between these 2 teams. I feel like it's kind of going to even out here. I took the over in this game. I took the over 209 minus 150. My model has it at 208.7, so it's still a little low, but I still think we get over here. It's that disparity kind of screwed with it because it was such a big swing those 2 days. But I also took the Celtics team total over 109.5. How can the Celtics not score over 109.5?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's I just like it. I feel like it's so cheap that that we've seen such bad performances in the playoffs so far this season, with some of these teams just getting so dominated in some of these games that they shouldn't be. And it just I don't know, it's like it's not a fun watch to watch the Celtics go from smashing them to getting smashed. I'm not even like a big.
The only
Celtics
thing it does
fan,
is
but
it just confuses us. All it does is confuse us gamblers. We don't know which way to go. We don't know what's going to happen.
If we want to be honest, the mediocrity that the Celtics have been dealing with, we don't even really hear Jason Tatum's name that much even being spoken about. It's more so Jaylen Brown, if than anything.
Derek White
or Derek White. Like it's like the shift has changed so much.
He's become a game manager. He doesn't want to play outside of the game, and he's kind of content with like, hey, I'll take my 17.
Right.
Like I'll take the 17. That's cool because maybe let's just say this is true. Maybe after the way the finals went against the Warriors and by game 4, game 5, where he was dead tired and Andrew Wiggins was sitting on everything he tried to do, maybe he's saying, let me pace myself. Possibly.
Sure.
But motherfucker, today, you better get to it.
Yeah.
If they take the lead,
even with the pace right now, like even the first round, I mean, who was the top scorer in the Celtics series? Was it Tatum?
Probably Derek White. No, it's probably Derek White or Jaylen. No, it's probably Jaylen Brown. But like when I tell you, one thing I respect about Anthony Edwards and Jaylen Brown, when they called it, Anthony Edwards said, "Bro, I'm a shooting guard. I shoot." That's what they shoot. That's what they're gonna do. So I wouldn't be surprised because JT had like, and especially against Boston, I think he may have one. I mean, against Miami, he had like maybe one big game. I don't even remember Jason like really like scoring like that. He said it after the game the other day. He was real nonchalant, like, yeah, it's just one game. Like we'll be fine. But everybody like, bro. You're not even playing like how you
Yeah.
supposed to be playing.
Yeah.
And I think the coach has taken a lot of those one-on-ones out from the Celtics
Because
game,
it has to be flow. It has to be flow, and that takes
and
away
that's
from
what
his
really
game.
probably hurts Tatum a lot with being so ball dominant. Last year.
That's what happened to Bi with Willie Green. That's why Bi's not as effective. He's a one-on-one guy. Nah, we gotta run this flow. We gotta run this flow for everybody.
Yeah. Greg, I know you got one for this. What do you want for this one?
The Celtics, I had the over, the game
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, we all
I figured you were. I just wanted just to let you double
The
check
game
that.
over. Yeah.
Yeah. Next game up though, we have one tomorrow, 3:30. Knicks are taking on the Pacers. Pacers -5.5 on the spread, -225 money line, over under at 217.5. I'll let you guys know that for this one, I really like the over again. I'm on the over on all these. We just missed in most of these in the last couple games when we didn't hit them, and they've been so close on the number. So I did take this down to 215. That's what my model has it. I'll tell you right now, it's at
218.5.
Yeah, I took it down to at 150. I said this in the NHL show, Cam, and I'll say it to you too. Everyone always criticizes me for buying points and whatnot, but I play what my model tells me to, and it is what it is. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's like $5 or $6 to make sure that I'm protected a little bit more with my cash. So I'm frugal if I have to be. I gotta take care of the wife. I can't afford to lose all my money, so
Right.
I'll take a little push.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take a little push protection. So I'm on the over 215. I think this is gonna be a battle. We've seen high scoring games between these two teams already. The Knicks have seen the over hit in 16 out of their last 20 and 4 out of the last 5 versus the East. We've seen the Indy hit over in 11 out of the last 14 and 6 out of the last 9 versus New York. They're also 9-0 straight up at home right now, so they're playing great at home. And the over is hitting 10 out of the last 13 games versus the East for them. So when they're playing their division, they like to put up a lot of points. And we've seen for these teams, for the last 3 games, this would have hit the over in all of them. So, I think it's a gimme here. And I'm probably going to put a couple units on it. So make sure you check my social at Pick Management before game time tomorrow. See exactly how many units I put on this, but it's going to be a few. So, Cam, what do you like here?
So I got a funny story that kind of goes into my plays, but a friend of mine and I both were we just kind of we felt like we knew what was going to happen in the game last night. He took Tyrese for 25 points and the Pacers to win. I think it was like plus 340. And I was like, well, Dante is going to get 4 threes and he probably have 30 or 35 points, and he finished with 35. So today I'm not going away from what I thought yesterday. And I got Dante DiVincenzo over 4.5 3-pointers and over 29.5 points for plus 320. I think they'll have to rely on him again tomorrow. Jalen Brunson will shoot the piss out the ball tomorrow because of the way the game ended. However, because of the way the game ended, I think he'll also find a way to initiate a lot of offense for Dante and Josh Hart. Probably a little bit for Hartenstein with that little push shot, from 8 to 10 feet out. But I mean, when you've just feeling it, similar to Derek White, you feeling it. And I remember 2 games ago, I'm like, man, Derek White gonna do this again? And then he hit 2 step back threes. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed as if, you know what I mean, it was destined. So those are the 2 things I do like. I also do like Tyrese Halliburton to go under 3.5 3-pointers. The 2 threes he got to start the game yesterday, those were free squares. He was wide open. Like, it was nobody in his radius, and they started off like 15-4. And by then, you know what I'm saying? I didn't take his under last night, but I just have a feeling he doesn't have back-to-back games where he oftentimes shoots multiple threes, even though it may be needed tomorrow. I don't think he'll go over 3.5. Maybe he might get 2. But I think 4 is kind of high. Then I like the Knicks plus 6. The Knicks gonna win. Knicks.
You think Knicks win it?
Yeah, Knicks win tomorrow.
All right. I like it. I think it's kind of disrespectful that it's at 5.
Yeah,
I have it 5.5.
Say it for the people to hear you in the back, Jacob.
Huh?
Say it again for the people to hear you in the back.
Oh, I think it's a little disrespectful to give that many points to the Knicks right now. Yeah. I mean, I think the Knicks are playing great ball, and they're not really showing a reason why to be, 6-point dogs. Greg, what do you think for this one?
I will say the 6 possibly, but the win, nah, I'm not seeing the win nowhere in this galaxy for the Knicks tomorrow. All right. But with me going into this game, I've been saying it since day one of the Pacers in every round. Like just the Pacers' pace of play is going to force every team to conform to their style of play if they want to beat the Pacers. Okay. We've noticed right now, yes, Knicks took a little 2-0 lead. That Madison Square Garden crowd is another monster in its own environment. It could have just got to them boys, you know what I'm saying? They was able to overcome game 3 at home. Game 4, I think they win. And this is going to be I believe how the Cavs and the Orlando round 1 was. Every home game will be won until it will get decided on that game 7 stage. Now, due to the fact that Orlando was really, really rookie with the game 7 atmosphere on the road, I don't know if that's going to be as impactful on the Pacers if they get this home win.
And they play in the play-in. So I mean, that's not the playoffs, but you still have high energy, high pressure game situations you've been in. So maybe that works well for them.
Their favorite, right? So like right now, I mean, I'm gonna say like to win the series, I still don't have a definite. I would lean more so towards taking both plus 1.5 if I could to cover the series spread. I definitely see this going 7 now, but I'm just going to say that right now the home court is definitely the advantage in this series. If I would say the over here is what I'm loving. I just don't see neither side still being stopped from scoring. I'm going to hit at the 218.5. Fuck Vegas life. You feel me? I'm coming to get that bread. You feel me?
Sure. Yeah, love it.
But yeah, they just it's just hard to stop the Pacers.
Sure.
From averaging, under 110. It's just the pace of how they,
especially without OG. Without OG, it's
they've been doing it all. They've been doing it all year. They were a historical offense at one point this season.
It's too stretched. They don't even have a big. Like Miles Turner is at the fucking half court line.
Yep.
Their best big comes off the bench. Jackson comes off the bench. That's the real true big. Like he comes in there to bully. You know what I'm saying?
I really like this series though. They're both sides playing their lights out. You know what I'm saying? They're giving everything they got each game. So I just don't see it stopping as far as the scoring aspect. So count me in for the over.
All right. And last game up tomorrow, 8 p.m. Nuggets, T-Wolves. T-Wolves minus 150 on the money line, minus 3 on the spread, over under 204.5. Cam, I know you got a bunch on this one. Why don't you take over?
So I lost last night. I'm trying to remember what killed me though. Oh, Nas Reed, right? So I took him for over 9.5. He finished with 7. Blowout games. You don't play any more minutes. So he didn't get those 3 points. However, I do think Minnesota comes back and wins tomorrow. I think one thing about the momentum right now, a lot of people are like, I even think I saw Slam posted this morning. They were like, don't underestimate the heart of a champion. But like, I think tomorrow Anthony Edwards probably scores 35. I think they win. I think it'll be close down to the wire. But I just think Minnesota inevitably wins tomorrow. When you play in that high altitude, that first game, I didn't expect them to win last night. I thought they were going to lose. I think they'll win this one. I think Denver pulls one more out, and then we'll see what happens in game 6. But I do think Minnesota kind of takes off and wins tomorrow. When it comes to the plays for this game, I took Nas Reed over 1.5 3-pointers because I know Nas going to shoot tomorrow. I can't deal with the 10-point massacre again. But I also like Mike Conley over 16.5 points and assists. Mike is a very interesting player within this series. I'll say usually, when it comes to point guards, Mike is going to guard the point guard. With Jamal Murray being the offensive player he is, they've kind of just switched it up. They've kind of put whoever on him, which has actually helped Mike in return have a little bit more energy on offense. He started out the game last night with 3 assists in the first quarter. So I think it might be over 1.5 for the first quarter. That's probably score like 12 points and finish with about 8 assists. If the flow of the game happens how I think it happens, I think he can get a double-double. But we'll just wait and see how that looks though, for sure. But a Mike Conley double-double and a win has to be like plus 650 at least.
I like that though. I like that a lot. It's worth a shot, I think.
Probably 9.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Why not, Greg? What do you want? What do you like for this one?
Okay. Well, with me, I know at the beginning of this series, I said I was going to be looking for a lot of unders. First two did their job. Game 3, I knew coming back to Minnesota, I took the over yesterday. I took it up a point to give me plus money. Took it over 206.5. Cash by 0.5. It was magnificent. I was a little
I
upset
was gonna
because it
say,
should have been way over that, but Minnesota just didn't. They just had a bad game. I'm gonna just count them up to having a bad game. Out of all the games they've played in the playoffs, they can have one. All right, and
that's
this
their
is really
first
the only
loss.
one.
Can we? That's their
It's,
first loss in the
it's their
playoffs.
it's their only bad game,
Mhm.
win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, so right now, I just think the way that the pace will be played in Minnesota is going to be a different pace that's going to be played in Denver. Minnesota is playing not for themselves; they're playing for the crowd, and that's always been apparent. Seeing Minnesota's home games, they are a crowd team for home games, so they're going to try to be electrifying. Like, that's their job there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I took this game to go over. I love that they kept it right around the same number. I even have a bold prediction to say this game is the only one out of all the games in this series that I see going overtime. And tomorrow is going to be possibly the day that this goes overtime. It should be really a lot of back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be a lot of fouls at the free throw line, only because I see a lot of drives to the meat rack due to the fact that Jamal Murray wants to try to continue having a poised game. The only way Jamal Murray has a poised game is going to the meat rack. That's going to free up Michael Porter Jr. to shoot more, especially knowing is that what he really wants to do. And Jamal Murray, seeing how the matchups been playing against him, he doesn't need to be trying to focus on any outside play, in my opinion, right now. He needs to try to focus on staying inside the perimeter to get, easy buckets and ones. All right. Minnesota, yeah, Gobert, he didn't really have a good game. Coming back last game, he's kind of quiet, but I expected that. I really be forgetting he's there. You know what I'm saying? Just give me the rebounds and kick that shit out to Cat or Reed or somebody. But I see a lot of back and forth for sure. This is going to be a gritty game too. It's going to look like it's going under until it hits the fourth quarter.
Sure.
So look for this to cash in Minnesota in the over again. The crowd is going to help.
And
Yeah,
one
I
thing
took
about the crowd, just real quick, one thing about the crowd. Yesterday when Minnesota was down 20 early, the crowd was dead. And I think Nate Jones said it on Twitter where he was like, man, this Minnesota crowd needs to pick it up like Dallas. When Dallas was down 28 against the Clippers and they hit 2 threes and the crowd goes crazy, you would think they were only down 2. Like the crowd's energy is so imperative in the playoffs. And to be honest, it's been years since Minnesota really had a playoff game. They had that play-in game and it was lit. It was live in there.
They have nothing to be embarrassed about.
Yeah, nothing at all. Nothing at all. And Ant took accountability last night, but it's very imperative that they get that energy from that home crowd because for a young team like that, hearing that crowd, feeling that energy and understanding like we can go 3-1 on the champs, that should be all the motivation in the world you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And that's part of the reason why, I'm on the over in this one. I'm on over 202. I got it at minus 145. I like it because I think this is one of those things with these wild swings between these teams. I think it's going to even out, and I think both teams are going to elevate their play, and I think we're going to see more points. I think Denver knows Minnesota is stepping it up. They're going to know that they're going to step it up in front of this home crowd, and I think that's going to make both styles of play, continue to rise, and I like the over a lot in this one. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. Why don't we go ahead and recap our best bets real quick, and we will get you guys out of here. Cam, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, that's perfect. So we already we'll make sure in the chat we have that full OKC parlay.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. I'll put it up there.
Yeah, that's perfect. No, that's perfect. So for the Boston Indiana game, we love Sam Hauser to go over 4.5 points and assists, and Peyton Pritchard to go over 10.5 points and assists. Al Horford to go under 2.5 assists. And the full game, we took it up 5 points and have it going over 217.5. For the Pacers Knicks tomorrow, we love Dante DiVincenzo again, over 4.5 3-pointers and over 29.5 points for plus 320. We like Tyrese Halliburton to go under 3.5 3-pointers. And if you want some plus money, you probably could take him for under 2.5. And the Knicks plus 6. And for the nightcap tomorrow, we like Naz Reid to go over 1.5 3-pointers, Mike Conley to go over 16.5 points and assists, and the T-Wolves on the money line.
Awesome. And where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at OneCamCarter, on Twitter at CamWriting_. I'm a sports writer at Baller Alert. I have my own player management company, but any questions you have for me, just feel free to DM me.
Yeah, Cam is the man. He's a good guy to know. So make sure you check out his stuff all across social media. Mr. Smackington, Greg, what are
That
your best bets?
for sure, for sure. All right, we're gonna come through, man. I kept it quite simple for y'all. We're gonna with my personal parlay for the OKC game. I got OKC plus 7.5 for cushion. The OKC team total over 102.5 for cushion, and the OKC Dallas over 210.5 for cushion pays out plus 100, plus 105, depending on your books. Next game up, will you roll right into the Cavs Boston over tonight at 211.5? Go ahead, you know what I'm saying, drop something on that sweet. And then tomorrow we got the Knicks in Indiana over 218.5, followed by the Denver mini over 204.5. All these games right now should be going in the over. There should be no reason for any of these games winding their way round to the finals of the Eastern and Western Conference that these boys don't know how to score. So
Yep. All right, and where can people find you online?
yeah, right now I'm on Instagram at Buku_Living Billionaires. You can type in Smackington and I'll pop right up, or I'm on X at Mr_Smackington.
Yep. All right, and I'll tell you guys, I am on OKC Dallas over 216, Mavs team total over 110.5, OKC team total over 108.5, Celtics team total over 109.5, Boston Cleveland over 209, New York Indy over 215, and Denver Minnesota over 202. You guys can find me across all socials at Pick Management. You can find me at Last Word on Sports. Give me sport here on the NHL Insiders. The MLS Insiders. We're still looking for a new name for betting the pitch. Any ideas, let us know below. Make sure you guys check out the Rhythm app for your free premium sub. You don't need to enter any billing info, anything like that. Just your emails to get the best AI-powered betting models out there. Yeah, that's going to do it for us here at the NBA Insiders. We will see you later.
On stepping on my rock on Ramones. Vic, I got you. You know, make some fun, Jerry. On stepping on my rock on Ramones.